Well, good morning, weirdos. Whew. What a morn. I'm telling you. I need coffee. Sheesh. I'm exhausted, people. I'm just exhausted. Oh. Not as bad as going to a concert or something, but oh man, I'm exhausted. I'm just destroyed. Oh, well, let me brush my one hair on my head. Yeah. Okay. Sheesh. Sheesh. Oi. Oh, wow. So, what has been happening with you all, weirdos? Yeah. It has been a long weekend. Oy vey. I went out for the third night in a row last night. Oy. Of course, there are those out there who say, that old guy can't stay up that late that many nights in a row. Well, usually you're right. But not today. Here we go. Oh, this is beautiful. I have coffee. And it's beautiful. Cheers. Oi, mate. It's coffee. What do you call coffee in Australia? Anybody? Yeah, I know. Foster's is Australian for beer, but I don't know what's Australian for coffee. Nut, the brown nut. I don't know. What do you call it? Nut juice. Oh, bean juice, right? It's a bean. It's not a nut. It's a bean. So they call it the bean, the brown bean juice. Am I too silly too early? Sheesh. All right. Well, what do we have on the agenda today? There is no agenda, but if you will, I do have a list of things I want to talk about because, like I said, it was a busy weekend. First of all, thank you so very much, David Wesley, for coming by my show Friday night. If you haven't seen the Friday Night Live pilot episode, please stop by my playlist and check it out. It's awesome. David tells us a little bit about himself, and we get to hear David play a couple of covers, and then I shared a link in the video in the description to Dust Devil Music, some more of David's really awesome music. I can't wait to start putting together some music videos for David. There's some great songs. Every time I listen to one of his songs, I get images flashing in my head. It's just great stuff. Very emotional, very visceral music. And before I get into the whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday thing, a very good friend of mine, Flower Valadez, has a YouTube channel called Flower Creates, and she creates gift cards and stamps and just wonderful, creative, fun stuff for the whole family. I can't wait to start stamping things with a stamp of my own face. Won't that be fun? So let's see. Thank you so much, Flower, for your very creative and fun videos. And I can't wait to see more. Awesome stuff. If you people get a chance, stop by. I will try to post a link in the, in fact, I'll do that right now. I'll go ahead and post a link to the video that I watched in this comment here. I'll go ahead and pop the same link in this comment. So, you know, everybody can kind of stop by and enjoy it. Oh, look, I'm live. Hi, I'm live. It's me. And let's go save Flower Creates. And then her, let's see, paste. I need mine. Where'd it go? There it is. There's my clipboard. There she is. Okay, there you go. All right, so I just popped a comment in the old comments there. That's Flower Creates. Stop by and see her. Just awesome stuff. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. And then let me see. Let me check my old Listeroni here. Listeroni. So yeah, after the Friday Night Live show, the pilot episode, David and I ran out of here like shot from a gun to try to get to the Palms in Wonder Valley, which is a real hot spot for a lot of the local talent. Unfortunately, we got there just a couple of minutes too late. I mean, literally, they were 5 minutes and the list was full and we were bunked. So we hung around, saw a few of the acts, had some drinks. Yes, I had a beer. Yes, I did have a beer. And then right about the time we decided, well, you know, let's blow this popsicle joint. Got a call from David got a call from a friend who wanted to meet at another place. So we came here into my hometown here, Joshua Tree, and met up at the Joshua Tree Saloon down the street here, which was cool because I never get to, you know, it's right there, but I'm not a carouser, so I didn't, I don't really get out much. But it was neat. And down there I had a couple of beers. So yeah, there you go. 3-beer night. I was plastered. By 6-pack, I would have been crawling. Really, I'm just not a drinker. And needless to say, I woke up Saturday morning with a hangover. But yeah, we did that, and then we went to the Joshua Tree Saloon, and after that, well, we all went home because we're all kind of, you know, early birds, so to speak. Well, I am. I get up at about 4 every morning here. But the thing is that it just didn't end on, you know, Friday night. Saturday morning, we decided to get up and go visit in-laws in Winchester, California, which is between Temecula and Hemet, little town of Winchester. It's grown somewhat since I was a kid. It used to be just a little tiny 4 corners, cross streets. I mean, that was it. You know, you had a major road going this way and a major road going that way, and it was a little town. I don't even think they had a school when I first moved into that valley there. I don't remember driving through and seeing that school. There's a school there now, and it looks pretty old, but it wasn't there when I was there. So yeah, we drove down there and got to see their big new house. Our brother, my wife's brother Celso, and his wife, and all their issue. I mean, just it's awesome to see a multi-generational family in practice. All right. We have a multi-generational family here at home, but it's only because we're not going to kick our daughter out at 18. All right. So there's us and there's her. And that's the way it is. With my wife's family, it's we've got the parents, the kids, and the grandkids, and yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, there's going to be great grandkids in this house, living under the same roof. When they were having the house built, they bought the house before it was finished. So when they were having it finished, they actually added in more room. They turned half of the garage into a bedroom. A bedroom for the guy who owns the house. I mean, it's like, here, everybody, here's the house, and I'll take this room here. What a beautiful man. You're an all right dude, man. And very tall house for such short people. And it was really cool. They've got a couple of dogs. Luna, which is a dog that they've had forever. And I was happy to see her still around. Big, fluffy, white husky. Not white and black, gray, white. Not really nice, beautiful female husky. She's just an adorable dog. And then one of the kids there adopted a Doberman who had its tail docked, but not its ears. And apparently, when he bought this dog, he wound up having to spend thousands of dollars to get it fixed because it came to him sick. It was 6 months old. It came to him sick, and it was in a horrible condition. And the dog is so beautiful now. It is such a well-loved animal. I could not get enough of that dog, nor could it get enough of me. We just kept my daughter too. She's a dog whisperer as well. And yeah, what a sweetheart of a dog. You guys, you're doing great. I hope at some point you find me here and get to hang out, because I like y'all. Oh yeah. So they've got a really nice, track home backyard, kind of an L shape, big driveway, and then a little skinny backyard in the back, but it's really set up nice. A lot of plants. They were cooking carne asada, of course, when we got there. So first order of business was carne asada tacos and guacamole. And of course, they sent us home with a huge bowl. So last night we had tacos. Yeah, right on. Thanks a lot, guys. Awesome stuff. Usually I go out at night and I'm hungry. Not last night. Guacamole. Oh yeah. So yeah, after our excursion out to Winchester, on our way home, right? I'm jokingly ask my daughter, right? So in and out on the way home, and she didn't drop a beat and looked at me and said, "Yeah, okay." We all just eating tacos, right? My wife is like, "You guys are crazy. You're not serious, are you? No way." But yeah, we stopped in Cabazon on the way out to our home in the desert, and had an In-N-Out burger. Yay! Oh my goodness, I have eaten so many In-N-Out burgers in the last year and a half. You have no idea. I mean, I grew up in Southern California on In-N-Out burgers, but it was like a rarity. It was like a gourmet takeout meal. Everything else was McDonald's. But if you wanted to go out and kick it up a notch and not have to spend much more or any more, if any, than a regular burger place, it was literally a California gourmet In-N-Out burger. And there's so many different ways to have it, right? So if you're unaware of what In-N-Out is, it's not a sneeze. And I'm not allergic to it. Pardon me. So In-N-Out Burgers is a Southern California hamburger joint that has been around since the, I'm going to say 50s. Okay. My father ate at In-N-Out when he was young, when he lived out in Baldwin Park. He would go to the first In-N-Out out there. Of course, on the other side of the freeway is from that In-N-Out is another In-N-Out. And that In-N-Out, the new In-N-Out there, is the In-N-Out University, where you learn how to make these beautiful hamburgers, these culinary delights. Oh, sorry for my sniffles. It happens when I drink coffee and sneeze. But, In-N-Out, man, I've been eating In-N-Out like forever. And if you are unfamiliar with it, there's a secret In-N-Out menu. You can Google the list, but you can find things on there like like the double cheeseburger is called a double double. Well, you can get a 4x4, which is like huge. That's for like the massive appetite when you only want to eat one burger. That's the burger. Their fries are fresh cut right there on the spot, blanched and fried. They're not processed crap. The meat is like 100% ground chuck. All right, it's a better burger. It really is. But it is a gourmet burger, and it's not a burger you can eat every day for lunch. It's not a burger you can eat every week for lunch, unless you're a glutton for taste. My daughter is. She loves In-N-Out. It's her thing. In fact, it's like she likes, a specific flavor of In-N-Out, and it's got to be, like she's got different restaurants serve the burger differently, and at different times of the day it tastes differently to her, and she's like, it's better at night, like at 2 a.m. Is she right? She's so right. So right. So if you order your burger animal style, you get grilled onions, and you get a lot of them, and you get extra lettuce and tomato and sauce and pickles, and it's just a bigger, like twice the veggie on the sandwich, which is how we usually order it. We usually order animal style, and because it's so big and cumbersome, we get them cut in half, and they will cut them in half and wrap each half in the bottom individually and then slip them into a sleeve. And that's the way to have a In-N-Out burger, animal style, cut in half. You can also do your French fries animal style. Now load your fries up with the onions and the sauce and the cheese and everything. You can probably get it with meat, animal style, cut in half with a patty, fries, animal style, cut in half with a patty. And that is more like a nachos deal. But, yeah, anyway, enough about In-N-Out. Other than I've changed. I used to have them animal style cut in half, just having them, the bun untoasted, meat, cheese, onions, and sauce. No pile of stuff. I'm just kind of doing a slim, because after so many decades of eating the same burger, especially so many times recently, I've got to change it up. I got to have something different. It's just not cool to keep, I still got to go out. My daughter just gave me the list of concerts for this year, and I've got to go out like at least a half a dozen times in as many months. So that's like a In-N-Out visit a month. That's crazy. That's just too much to think about. But they're great burgers, Yeah. So Saturday we got home relatively early because we didn't want to be out late, and we wanted to get back to the dogs. We left the dogs home for about 6 or 7 hours, and so we wanted to get back to these guys and make sure they were okay and let them out, and show some love. Which was cool, because I had to get up and work. My wife and I had to get up and work Sunday morning. We clean vacation rentals, or I do, and then she's kind of my companion. But that's a great job. You go, you clean up a couple of toilets, a couple of bathrooms and kitchens, and it's really neat. We have our methods and our ways of doing things that make it really quick. Especially working together. We're a fantastic team. My wife and I have been working together since before we were married, which is how we met, working together. Throughout our whole entire marriage, we have had the very fortunate opportunity to work together. Whether I'm working with her or she's working with me, it's just awesome that we don't have to get to know each other every day, because we spend so much time working with other people, or we've got it's not like she's got a work husband or I've got a work wife, and I always hated the idea of that you spend more time at work with people than you do your own family. You're forced to be with people you normally be with, just so that you can afford to live. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Or like sending your daughter or kids off to school, where they spend more time every day in the company of strangers than they do at home and family, right? Which means you have to have a strong presence in your kid's life in order to counteract all of that shit that comes in from the outer world, right? Yeah. So lo and behold, I got a message from David. I don't remember if it was Wednesday or Saturday night or Sunday morning, but no, it was Sunday sometime. It was the middle of the day while I was working on Sunday. He hit me up and asked me if I wanted to go out to another open mic. And, hell yeah, get me out. I got to get out and do something. Well, let me get out and do something then. And so, yeah. So, I finished up my work, and then came home and had tacos, carne asada tacos. Thank you again. Good stuff. So after tacos again, I got cleaned up and took the old van down to Morongo Valley, where the Spaghetti Western saloon and restaurant, the Spag West. Really awesome place. It used to be called, I think I went into this on another show, but it used to be called Willie Boys. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with the story of Willie Boy down here. We'll have to get further into it. Maybe we'll do a little mini documentary on Willie Boy. But he was a local anti-hero, half-breed, Mexican, native Mexican Indian, I think. Kidnapped a white woman. Whole big to-do story. There was a movie. Tell him Willie Boy is here. So there's that. So this restaurant was built in the area of Willie Boy, and had a lot of memorabilia about Willie Boy and the event. I believe I remember back then it was on the menu. The menu, you'd look at the menu, and the story of Willie Boy was on the menu, which was pretty cool. To hold on to that local history. Um, yeah, really cool story. We'll have to get into Willie Boy on an episode here sometime. Probably a Sunday show where I can actually put some time and research into it, because you don't get much here. This is me, coffee, bong hits, blah blah blah. That's about all this is. And if you're up for that, bring it on, man. So Spaghetti Western is a really nice restaurant and bar saloon, pool tables, a lot of Western memorabilia, a lot of animals hanging on the walls in there. There used to be a lot of hunting out in this area back in the days, back in the 40s and 50s. They were still coming out here to little tiny shack cabins out in the middle of nowhere, and they would call them their hunting lodge, right? Let's go out to my hunting lodge. And you get out there and be a one room, look like an ice fishing shack in the middle of the desert. And there are so many of them that are still out there. You can buy one of those little cabin shack things out here for a few $1,000s on an acre. It's ridiculous. A lot of the vacation rental people have been buying up these little things and then turning them into little studio rentals, which is not a bad idea. And then, of course, at some point they're going to get sold off, and people are going to be living in these things, because this vacation rental bubble, who knows how long it'll last. Hopefully it's my bread and butter, so hopefully it'll be around a while. It's not like we have to rely on a million Airbnbs. We only need a half dozen to stay afloat, so yeah. But down there in Morongo Valley, where we lived in Morongo Valley for a little while. My daughter went through first through sixth grade in Morongo Valley before we moved up to Joshua Trees, because it's closer to her. The junior high she attended and the high school she attended. But Morongo Valley is a neat little community. It's just a stretch of highway, but it's got a neat community. It really does. Like out here, it's got a really neat art. So because it's like a badge to wear. Yeah, I played the palms. I played. It's like, wow, really? It is a big deal. And they're open mic night. There's nothing to balk at. Harmonica Joe got up first, and he is an interesting character, a great harmonicist, an interesting storyteller. What a wonderful man that guy is, Harmonica Joe. And then, of course, David lives right around the corner, so he was able to get on the list early. Having worked today, or worked yesterday and working today, it was important that he get in and out of there as quick as possible. I guess it's a thing for musicians where you have to get out and perform, and you have to get out and do that on a regular basis. I don't know. I'm not a musician. I'm not a singer. I'm not that kind of creative artist. So I don't. It would be neat to do that, but I really don't feel like David wants me to get up there and jam, but it's not like I told his wife. I'm knowing that I can is the important thing. But I really don't need that kind of madness in my head. Eventually I probably will, but I'm not going to kill myself over it. I really have fun creating music and stuff at home on camera, and then sharing it with the idea that somebody actually might watch. is intimidating enough. But to do it up in front of actual people, I've done that. It's okay. Let me check on the dogs here. Oh, poor little Oliver was thinking I had food. Wanted to come out and nibble on my cereal bar. Sorry. No food this morning. In fact, I don't know how long I'm going to be awake. I've got to take my daughter to college at 11:30 and then pick her up at 1:30. So how's that going to work? Get done here, take a nap, get up, take her, come home. To go back. And of course, on Wednesdays, she has 2 classes. She's got to come back. She's got a split shift. So she's got her 12 o'clock class, and then she's got a break in between to get a nap and then go back for her later class. Damn sniffles. And of course, my brain, I can't recall what it is that she's studying this semester. Oh, she's got rock and roll history, I believe. She got the history of rock and roll, and she actually got the book. A lot of classes, you don't really need the book, or, the teacher will say, I will get the book if you want, or you get an online, what a book, if that's not a book, you get online data. But she actually got the physical book of the history of rock and roll. So I told her that's going to be a great book to have, and she says, "Yeah, that's a permanent addition to her library now." So that's cool. In fact, last time I was at Barnes and Noble, I came across a really fat book that was like the Encyclopedia of Hollywood Movies or something, and I almost just dropped everything in my drawers. I really wanted that book, so I'm going to have to probably get that one, and then I'm going to probably look into something like that with music, recording artists or something. That seems like it'd be a neat, some neat data to absorb. Here we go. Well, a little pain management there. So back to the Spag West, the old spaghetti western there. That used to be Willie Boys in Morongo Valley. So there was another act that we saw at the Palms that showed up at Spag West, and we didn't have a. It's getting late, and I needed to be out of there and back here so I could be here with y'all. So I didn't want to stay past 9. So at about 9, we started to get up and get ready to leave. So we missed this cat who just did a great original um, about drugs, taking drugs from the drug point of view, and it was called Take Me, and it was it was really, really visceral. I mean, it was just a fantastic, guy that gets up there and says, well, I'm like me, like I'm not really used to this, I don't do this, and then he gets up there and just nails it, just knocks it out of the park. But yeah, we didn't stay around to see him again. I hear Sam. I think Sam is up and about. Let me go help Sam with the door because I'm a doorman. Oliver, how are you, Oliver? Huh? How's it going? Are you going to stay here, or are you going to pester me to go back into a door? Come here, Oliver. Just come say good morning. Come say good morning. Hi, this is Oliver. He is my little Chihuahua mix that we adopted because when the lady took him home, he was teething, and she was 70 something and could not deal with a dog biting her constantly. So I said, well, you send this little guy over and we'll make sure that he doesn't tease anymore, and then we'll send him back to you. And she said, nope, I don't want him. And so we kept him. And he is the best little weird guy. You thought I was weird? This guy is a weird dude. Oh man, he is a weird dude. He is one weird cat. You want to come over here? Huh? You want to come up here and stay with me? Little guy? I don't have any cereal bar. I don't have any cereal bar. I'm not eating this morning. I know, my crumb buddy. I know. But I'm not eating yet. I'm just having coffee. He plays with his ear with his back foot when he's nervous. He also gets a wrinkle over his right eye when he's perturbed. And he likes to play got your nose. So if you get close to him and stare at him, he will turn and grab your nose. I know a lot of people probably, oh my God, you let your dog bite at your face. Yeah, I'm a dog whisperer, so I have a connection with dogs that other people don't. Not many people do. And the two of my dogs play got your nose, and I taught them how to play got your nose. I got their nose, and then they get my nose. And they come at my nose with their mouth open, and they grab the tip of my nose with their mouth, and they get my nose. And they have the softest mouths of any dogs that I know. Now, a soft mouth means that to test the softness of a dog's mouth, you put an egg in a Labrador's mouth, and if the dog can carry the egg without breaking it, it has a soft mouth. That's a soft mouth. Okay. Other dogs pick things up and they immediately sink their teeth into it. That's not a soft mouth. Okay. So my dogs with a soft mouth, they play got your nose. Now both of them telegraph it. All right. Oliver will look at you, and then he will literally look at you and give you the look before he comes in for your nose. And then he comes in and he got your nose. Tootsie, she plays got your nose. She really telegraphs it in. Her teeth will snarl up. She'll open up her mouth and she'll come into you, and she will literally grab the tip of your nose with her teeth, and you won't feel a thing. All right. It's like somebody's grabbing you with cotton swabs. She is such a sweet dog. I got to check Oliver again. Apparently, he can't figure himself out. Oliver. Oh, I guess somebody woke up and pulled him into the room. He was probably scratching at a door. Somebody couldn't take it anymore. Probably my daughter. She's got it. She's a light sleeper like me. Dog gets into bed with her and does this on the blanket, and she, just like my wife, opens it up, lets the dog in. Freaking hilarious. The dogs have got these girls trained. That's why they sleep with them more than me. Too much. Anyway, so yeah, my dogs, they're some weird creatures. Anyway, full circle on my tangentisms. Back to the spaghetti western. So after David, we saw a couple of interesting guitar players, an English gentleman that I've seen before, Tavi. Wow, dude, I'm telling you, that is the bomb voice. This guy, he has this way of playing the guitar and this way of singing. The guitar is just so rhythmic and so poppy, right? It snaps, right? And then his voice is like just pouring honey on it, and it's just amazing. I mean, it's so hard to articulate what this guy does with his voice, and it's nothing. I mean, he's not doing a Mariah Carey or anything. I mean, he's just. I really hope that at some point, when I'm there, I don't like to record people thinking, oh, I'm gonna put this video on my channel, because it's not fair to the artist to take their art and then use it for your own gain, and which is what I would be doing right now. It's different, like if you go to a concert and you pay a bunch of money to go to a concert and you want to come home and you want to share little snippets of your concert experience, which is what I hope to do. But if you're sharing more than just snippets, if you're sharing entire songs, then I just feel like you're adding to the everybody knowing what the hell's going on about these people, but at the same time you're using it for your own gain. So I'm kind of up in the air. I kind of have to do a moral battle within me to figure that out, so I plan to start getting the permission of the artists that I happen upon in these open mic nights and smaller venues and stuff, because YouTube is going to tell me whether or not the concerts I go to, right, are going to be allowed to be played because of copyright stuff. And then of course somebody will flag it, say you can't play that, and then it'll go down. So I want to try to avoid that, putting something up that's eventually going to come down. I just want to put stuff up and let it stay. So I'm going to try to edit things in a way that doesn't really infringe on people's creativity. So I didn't. Hopefully we can get something by Tavi and have him Tavi. I'm going to say Tavi. Have him get us something, and then I'll try to find a link to something if he has something out there. I did talk to Tavi after the show. It was really loud, so it was hard to kind of get a good back and forth. But I did exchange information with him, and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully at some point we can, he lives in the area, so maybe we can get Tavi to come over and hang out with me and David and on a Friday night and find out a little bit more about him and his music. Um, yeah, I was blown away. I was blown away. This is the second time I've seen him. I saw him at Frontier, and I'm kind of happy that he recognized that he had seen me before, which was pretty cool. For a guy like me who doesn't get out much, it's nice to be recognized on occasion. Time to warm up this coffee. I cannot abide cold coffee unless it's iced coffee or cappuccino. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. What a great venue. Oh, and the lady who was, I forgot to get her name. David knows her. I forgot to get her name. The MC, the lady running the show. I think she manages or maybe she owns the Spaghetti Western, Spog West, down in Morongo Valley. Really lovely person. She recorded one of David's songs while I was recording the same song. And I thought, you know what, great opportunity to get another camera angle of this song. And so I asked David, I said, hey, if you got any pull with this lady, why don't you see if she'll send you that video, and then let's put together a video for this, right? And he's like, okay. So he goes over, and he's gone for like forever. And he comes back and he sits down and he's just like, wow, and he's got this look on his face of, like he just got voted the most handsome man of the year or something on People magazine, right? I mean, he just sat down and he was just like, oh my gosh, she just asked me to play my song at the awards show in October. And like his wife and I were just like, yeah, that is the fucking shit right there. And if anybody deserves it, he does. I mean, he's been doing this shit for over 30 years. It's just, yeah, right on, dude, right on. And the awards show is, it's not like, here you get an award for, it's you're awarded by being one of the 15 who are up there playing your song. So 15 people get up, they play their song, and they're recognized. And that's what the award is. And I thought that was the very coolest. It's like that's going to be the third annual event. And yeah, and the song, he was playing it on his great grandmother's what are they, resonator guitar, adobo. I think it was called adobo. Anyway, dobro. That's what I think. That's what it was. Please, somebody chime in and correct me if I'm wrong. Just an awesome sounding instrument, and he just played it so. I mean, you could tell that it was in his genes, really. So there's that, and I'm sitting here at this table close to the stage with Kristen, David's wife, and she's an artist in her own right, and she's sitting there next to me on little 5x7 pieces of paper, right? She's doing graphite drawings of the acts on stage as they perform, while they perform, and then go to the next one. And she created, of every act that was up while we were there, she created a drawing. All right. The MC came over and she was just blown away, so much so that she wanted pictures of all of them. so that she could use them in her advertising of the open mic night, right? Which is brilliant, production value, get production value out of everything. The other acts were coming by and admiring her work, and so she just gave them their corresponding, here's your drawing. And yeah, I mean, how precious is that, to go to a show and have somebody draw you a little sketch, of you performing. Just and we have some sketches. I have a couple sketches back here in little round lockets that she made of my wife's mother and father. And so, yeah, David and Kristen and their family, really close to our hearts. So it was a wonderful night for all of us. I mean, I was just taken aback by the whole turn of events. I hadn't really thought about getting on stage. I thought, well, if the opportunity presents itself and I felt okay with it, then sure, I would get up on stage and perform a song. But like I said, I'm not that beat up over all of that anymore. So I didn't. I was once again surprised by an act that walked onto stage, and requento. That's the word. So this girl, I'm going to say girl because I'm going to say that she's in her 20s, and a gentleman who I'm going to say is about my age, get up on stage together. The gentleman having just a nice, really nice 6-string guitar, and the girl had a really small guitar pulled up tight on her. I mean, it was up really, really high, really tiny little guitar. And David is like, hey, check this out. To these guys where I've seen these before. They are just, she's like the female Eddie Van Halen on guitar, on a nylon acoustic, right? And I'm like, all right, whatever, bud. And he wasn't lying. He wasn't far from the truth at all. If in fact it was probably an understatement. She was phenomenal. She showed so much love to that little guitar, with her friend just strumming out some great rhythm. They did a Edie Brickell in the new Bohemian song, "What I Am Is What I Am, What You Are, What." Oh, I'll never hear it the same again. In fact, if I don't get a recording of her doing that song, I'm just going to die. All right. Fortunately enough, well, unfortunately, my battery was dead by then, and having about a half hour to drive home, I needed my phone just in case there was an emergency, right? You never know what's going to happen out in the desert. You don't want to break down or something and not have a phone. So I pleaded with David to record this act, and he did. And I'm telling you, so the name of the act was the Tommy Tom Show. All right, the Tommy Tom Show. So if you can see my shirt, see that? The Tommy Tom Show. When she said that they have shirts, it was like, yes, please. You guys, you sold me. All right, you sold me. So once they finished, and she said, "Oh, by the way, we have shirts." I thought, okay, this is my opportunity to go meet somebody, because up until this point, I hadn't talked to anybody other than David and Kristen, and a little bit with the MC lady, and I had started to kind of feel more comfortable talking to people. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm I didn't want to approach the girl because she's like, a 20-year-old, and I'm just a crazy old weird bearded guy, creepy old man. Hey, baby, great stuff. Take a picture. So I decided to go and talk to the older guy, my age, and hit him up and asked about the shirts and prices and sizes and stuff. And then, asked where they were from. And it turns out they're in Hemet. They're located in Hemet. So if you're in that area, they're probably playing in your area. The Tommy Tom Show can't be missed. All right. I've seen a lot of small acts open for really big shows lately. And this is one of those acts that should be opening for somebody really big soon. Okay. They've been around a while, and they've had their opportunities, and they've had some bites taken out of them, but they're unstoppable. They really are. Anyway, so I got to talk to Tom, and it turns out they don't live up in the area. They live in Hemet, but they just played the Palms, and they come out here in hopes to get a paying gig. And I really hope you guys get a paying gig out here, because I'm going to pay to see you. They hit up the hot spots out here. It's amazing how important just a couple of these venues are out here, and how important some of the other venues, the newer venues, are becoming. He told me about another one. I can't for the life of me remember the name. It'll come to me eventually. But I was able to exchange phone numbers and sent him a link to one of my videos, and asked them please to check out my channel if they like, what they see, and I'm not too weird, to hit me up when they're in the area, and I would love to get them over here on a Friday night for the live show. And then I got to talk to Tommy, and she's just so intelligent and so on it. She's really a bright girl. I don't mean to use the word girl lightly, but you are a girl, and you're a lady, and you're a woman, but you are just friggin' awesome. My God, she's got, in just a couple of minutes that I talked to her, and heard, what was coming out of her head. Wow. I'm glad to see that the world isn't populated by a bunch of Kim Kardashians, really. I thought my daughter and David's daughter is only a couple of people that I've actually known, had actually real kids and were real people and stuff. Because I get out there in the world, and there's just so many non-people, they're just all so wrapped up in everything that's not human, that you just scratch your head and go, how do you do it? Well, these two are the real deal, these the Tommy Tom Show, they're the real deal. And I got to find out that while I was right in that her guitar was a Spanish style guitar, it was not a guitar per se. And she's so awesome. She actually schooled us on what she was playing. I said, so it's a Spanish guitar, right? She said, well, yeah. There are five guitars. And she went through a history of guitars, and while everyone else in the world was playing with other instruments and going into violas and fiddles and all these other different instruments of Stradivari and string instruments, Spain was just doing that with the guitar, and just different sizes of guitars. So you had your your different like octaves. So the one that she played was a recanto, I believe is what she said. God, I hope I'm right, but it was the one that the guitar is tuned at E, and this is 5 frets smaller, and it's tuned at A. So it's just you know, less of the lower notes, right, on the guitar. So we got a little music lesson, and I was so happy to hear just somebody speak so intelligently of what their passion is, you know. Freaking awesome. Just way impressed by the Tommy Tom show. And there are a couple of videos. I found 2 videos on YouTube of the Tommy Tom show, but it's not by the Tommy Tom show. No, if it was their site with their video or their channel with their video, then I would be happy to repost it or share it here on the comments. But from what I understand, they've had a little difficulty with the whole modern media thing. So until I figure out more about that, I'm not going to step on any toes. If you get a chance, go to Instagram, Tommy Tom Show, see if they have anything on Spotify. My daughter does Spotify, but I don't. I'm not sure if they have anything. I know some of these smaller acts actually do get onto Spotify and these other music platforms. Look on YouTube. There's a couple of videos. I haven't watched them yet, but I'm going to. Yeah, I can't say enough about the Tommy Tom show. It's like back in December when we saw the Bridget and Iris. And that was an act that I will never forget. Now, I did record one of their songs, but I won't ever share it unless it's just a snippet. I'm hoping at some point I can find them again, because I did talk to them after that show in December of 2022. So it's been a while since they were here. So I'm gonna have to dig. Hopefully they've gone how they wanted to go, and they've got stuff out there. I'm gonna have to start searching for them. But yeah, so yeah, I guess that pretty much takes care of the important things on my list. But what a weekend. And then, of course, tonight, today I've got to take a nap and take my daughter to college, and then get my act together here, because I haven't had a chance to kind of take care of my set here, because I've been so busy having too much fun. But yeah, and then tonight we're going out to the land north of here. Another one of these little, and you blink and you miss it. And it's the Giant Rock Meeting Room. If you want rock, but it's Giant Rock. And you can Google Giant Rock, Landers, California. You can look on YouTube and watch videos about Giant Rock. I just watched a great Giant Rock and the area and the people involved. Great story, great local history. So tonight we're going to the for another open mic night. I'm hoping that we get some different people in there so I can see some different stuff going on. Because I really am excited about the every time someone gets up on stage and I get those those hairs and stuff just standing up all over, and I'm just so mystified. What really gets me is that there are so many people on this planet, right? And all you have to do is pick up a rock and throw it in any direction, anywhere, and you're going to hit someone who has that creative gene, right? Where they can just pick up any kind of media and just say, wow, look at me, I'm a rainbow, right? And last night was no different, as was Friday night. I mean, it's just really, there's so much unrecognized talent on this planet. That's what I thank YouTube for, is allowing a place for all of these people to come and share with everyone all of this stuff, and take all of the monetary gains and all the money, take the money out of the whole thing. And if it's just me coming to you and saying, here, look at me, look what I got, look what I can do, that's the thing right there. Sure, it's capitalism, so you gotta pay for everything, right? And if it's just paying with a couple of ads popping up just so that you can see the talent that's out in the world, to me, it's worth it. It's way worth it. If it's worth it to watch a commercial so you can watch America's Got Talent, all right, if you're going to sit through the commercials to watch America's Got Talent or any of those shows, then you can sit through these YouTube commercials and watch this talent that it's just oozing from the pores of YouTube, right? It's just so amazing. It's just so amazing how much is out there, Going around to these bars and venues and stuff, I see a lot of it firsthand, and then to think, well, I'm just in a spot where there's only 12 people playing, right? 12 acts. And over half of these acts should be on a bigger stage, should be on YouTube, should be on the grander scale, and then you go to YouTube and you're just overwhelmed, because there are so many talented individuals out there and talented groups of individuals. It's mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. It boggles the mind. I'm boggled. Do you remember that game, Boggle? Right? Anybody remember Boggle? I want to boggle you. Yeah. Oh, coffee. Get another warm up again here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me go warm up my coffee. Coffee. Okay, look for Syria. Look for one thing I forgot to do. One thing I forgot to do is open my blinds here. Gotta let the sunrise in. There we go. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. So let's see, where were we? Talent. Local talent. Talent everywhere. Where's the talent in in your town, where do you see local talent? Do you have any local talent in your town? You've got to. Do they all hide? You know, do you walk down the street every once in a while and see a guy on his porch with a guitar? You know, hit him up. What's his local talent? You know, I mean, you don't even see kids playing hopscotch on the street sidewalk anymore. You know, you don't see kids on their bikes. You know, um, rarely are you going to find a bunch of teenagers piled into a garage jamming out some tunes, right? I mean, that don't happen too much anymore in middle America here, you know. At least I'm not seeing it, you know. Maybe they do they all just turn on their screens and shuffle. Pardon me. I had to let it out. Uh-oh, the burps. Yeah. But I remember when back in the 70s, neighborhoods would put on block parties. They'd hold block parties in the summer. As soon as spring came and it warmed up and they could hang outside all night long, they'd throw a block party. I mean, in various places that you know, we like I said, we're kind of run all over the country and the state and everything. So we kind of bounced around a lot. But I mean, many places that we would go to, neighborhoods and such, all of a sudden there'd be a block. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, we're setting up for a block party. What the fuck's a block party? You know? And they would, in a cul-de-sac or at the end of a street or in a neighborhood where, you know, ain't nothing going on, they'll just block off a whole section of the neighborhood, and all the neighbors come out and bring everything that's needed to put on a huge party. There's barbecues, there's tables, there's canopies, there's chairs, there's tables just full of food. People are bringing out, you know, their ambrosia and their, you know, potato salad and, you know, tuna casserole or whatever. You know, everybody's all brings out the works, you know, and then there'll be somebody will have a garage band in the group, or dad and grandpa will sit up there with Junior and play some old folk tunes or something, you know. And usually the reason was to you know, celebrate like on the 4th of July, or like a group birthday party or something, or you know, maybe the neighbors have all been neighbors for so long that they get together and celebrate, you know, once or twice a year for certain, you know, a group of events or something. There never really needed to be a reason to throw a party, let alone a block party. All you had to have was enough people and enough fixins, right? And you don't see that much anymore. You don't even hear about block parties too much anymore. I think the last block party I went to was a couple of them, Elsinore and Temecula. Nose hairs are going wild this morning. There was one in Lake Village in Temecula back in the 90s that I went to. And, you know, we literally just went to see a friend and happened upon a block party that was going on and got invited. And we hung out for a couple of hours and ate and talked and, you know, and then it was, you know, and watched a little live music or something. And then I was gone, and we were gone. It was over, you know. And it was, well, that was weird, you know. It just, and that would have to be probably 92. Before I went off to Arizona for a little while. And then, God, lots of them, but I remember one distinctly in the mid to late 80s in Elsinore, off Grand Avenue, down Ethline and Marie, and those streets that go down to the lake that are just north of Cranes Park, Cranes Mobile Home Park, which was a big hot spot to go party as well. But I remember down those streets, they would just close off the whole, there were streets that would go down to the lake, and then there was one street that went across, and then houses that were on the lake. And they would just close off that whole bottom street that ran parallel with the lakefront. And that was it. You couldn't get through there in a car. You had to park somewhere on one of the streets or across the Grand Avenue and walk down, park at Cranes or something. And then it wasn't just on the street. I mean, there were houses, there were balconies on the lake, backyards. I mean, it was literally not just a block party. It was a neighborhood party. It was so big. I mean, you could literally walk down the street, walk into a house, walk upstairs, go out onto a balcony, come down the stairs on the balcony, walk into another backyard, up into another house. And it was just one big, massive party. It was phenomenal. It was amazing, and that's how it was. That's how I remember partying back in the 80s. It was just everybody was involved. It was an everybody thing. You had everybody show up at the parties, everybody from town, all walks of life, all classes of people, all races. And because it was a small town, we never really had any heavy disputes at parties until the late 80s, early 90s, when we started to get a really huge influx of people moving out from the cities. And they escape the city to get away from the city problems, but they come to the country and they bring much of those city problems with them. So we had a lot of gang violence and stuff stir up, and then there started to become a lot of disputes and grudges and stuff like that would happen. So that eventually you couldn't really have a giant party with everybody in town showing up without having a big fight at some point. There was one fight that happened in the mid to late 80s that was on the north side of the lake, or sorry, the east side of the lake in near town. And it was right on the beach. And at some point, a couple of different factions of some local gangs showed up and disliked the fact that there were a bunch of stoner metalhead goobers already at the party. So there was but that happened in school too. Like at the party, trash cans go a-flying, bottles are being hurled, people are getting beat up, kicked around and stuff. And that would happen at school in the smoking area. I mean, so it wasn't anything really unusual for a brawl to start up because somebody showed up who didn't like somebody else. Just as stupid as that. Just stupid shit. I'm hoping that, well, I guess I hope, but it just a couple of months ago, it just happened outside over here, just across from us. A bunch of kids showed up at a party that they weren't invited to, and it got crazy, and there were kids screaming and threatening to kill people, and the cops showed. That was just stupid. It was so juvenile. So those days aren't over, I guess. I mean, I would hope that they would, but they're not. I'm going in. Pain, go away. Don't come back for another day. Non-pot smokers. What is he doing? Why does he have to do that? Oh my God. Doesn't he know he's hurting his lungs? Yeah, well, my back. And yeah, I know that smoking, no matter what you're smoking, is probably going to give you cancer. Never smokes. I've tried to encourage her not to smoke. And I've tried to teach her by, leading by example of what not to do. You don't do this, because you can say, look at the effects of what this has done, right? So, and my daughter's a smart kid. I'm sure she'll figure out that, there are things that you should do and things you should not do, and a lot of the things that Papa does should not be done. And yeah, I grew up back in the day when, we knew better, but we didn't care. And if we didn't know better, then we just didn't care to know, and now there's so much information out there. I mean, on any subject, I can talk to my daughter and she'll school me on it, because she's just, she's up on everything that's going on. She comes to me for the past. I go to her for the present and the future, because reverse Van Winkle here. Yeah, I just don't get it. I try to go out there and I try to, to get it. The only thing I really get are the phones, like I'm starting to get those, and how they can be useful, other than just a Mr. Know-It-All, right? Because that's what I see the smartphones as, just a Mr. Know-It-All, and I don't want to see it as all of those other things that they want you to use it for. Install this app, this app, this app, this app, this app, this app. You know what? I'm sure it makes aspects of your life easier, unless you're old like me, and then it just makes everything more challenging. At this point, I'll leave that tech savvy stuff to my daughter for now. At some point, I may or may not get into anything more than this. This may be it for me. I'm kind of a low tech guy. I'm kind of a analog man living in a digital age. So I'm trying to merge the two. As cumbersome as that is, it's neat, but challenging. Yeah. But, oh, wow. Oh, David's wife asked me last night, so what's wrong with my neck? How'd I screw up my back? Well, a couple of different things. I grew up with a really really poor nutrition, all right, and lack of exercise. So that's a contributing factor. I spent, God, like 20 years just nose to the grindstone, um, just push, doing a lot of physical, hard labor type stuff, construction, house painting. I was in house painting for several years, and then handyman work, working alone, doing a lot of things alone, having to lift things alone, and work on things, and hold something up and put a screw in it where you need two people. And so I really used my body well. It's not the years, it's the mileage. And then I had a job being a painter slash handyman at a resort, and there was one of those folding room divider things, and we had pushed it aside and leaned it against a large post bed frame thing, canopy bed. And then we were carrying a large dresser, heavy wood dresser, which should have been on sliders. It was carpet. It should have just been on Teflon sliders, and it wouldn't have been no problem. And I'd probably still be working there today. But we lifted this thing up, and it was really, really heavy. And I was backing up, and I backed into the room divider that was folded up. And when I backed into it with my foot, it kicked it forward so that it came and fell on my head. And it didn't do any damage to my head, but the little extra force pushing down when all of my muscles right here are pulling on this desk here, the little extra pressure on the top of my head helped two discs in my vertebrae just go flat. They just flattened out. And when they flattened out, I could literally hear the popping in my neck of these things flattening out. And then I immediately felt pain in my shoulder all the way down to my elbow, like somebody was just trying to pull the arm out of the socket. It felt like bone cancer was just eating it away, right? So I'm working with my supervisor. Okay, I just injured myself, and I'm done for the day. I'm going to go take it easy. I'm going to go put some ice on my shoulder, and the next day I came in and I couldn't move my arm, right? And so I came in, explained what was going on, and then drove myself home in hopes that I was just going to take a couple of days off and be okay. They didn't ask me if I needed to see a doctor. They didn't ask me anything other than, when are you coming back? We got jobs to finish. So I really felt like, the family that they claimed to be. Nevertheless, after another day, I had to go to the emergency room and get checked out because it was just awful. So they took x-rays and gave me some, pain pills and some anti-inflammatory stuff. And then on Monday, I went back to work, explained to them that I had to go to the doctor over the week. Well, why did you contact us? We had to do workers' comp. So, why did you tell me to go to the doctor like you should have? Because that's what, HR wanted you to do in the first place. So eventually I got to go see the work comp doctor, and they were, for 6 months, they treated me for a shoulder injury. They x-rayed my shoulder. They told me it was my shoulder, that I had pulled this. And so they gave me medication, and they sent me to physical therapy for 6 months. And then the pain didn't go away. The pain was unrelenting. It was just misery constantly, 24/7. It did not stop. I was finding it difficult to sleep unless I was on pain pills. Difficult to do anything else, right? And then they finally got approval to do an MRI. And when they did that, that's when they found the neck. They found that the discs had completely dissolved into just little, sheets of paper. And then it was pinching the nerve off to my right arm and just destroying any hope of being able to do anything with this freaking arm. It was numb. It was tingly. It would go cold. It hurt all the time. If it didn't hurt, it was buzzing and numbing and tingly. I had to go in for those tests where they hook up electrodes and measure the time that the electricity goes from here to there and make your arm jump and twitch. And then up here to here, and here to here, and here to here to there, and it was just misery. And they had me jump through all these hoops for another 18 months, right? Just over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Well, it was obvious that I needed some kind of surgery because there was no discs. So when that happens, what they do is they just fuse those vertebrae together, channel out the holes for the nerves so that they're not pinched, right? And then just fuse those discs. Those vertebrae. But it doesn't really do anything for the pain, right? And so they tried all kinds of stuff. They had me go in for an injection of steroid injection stuff in the neck to try to right into the spine, right into the spinal fluid. And I don't know if anybody out there's had one of those injections, But they stick it in your neck and right into the spinal fluid. And there's the possibility of spinal fluid leakage and pain and all this other side effects and shit. But the thing that worried me the most about it was the sleep medication that they give you. So they set me in there, and I'm all ready for this whatever medication they're going to give me. I didn't eat. Um, all kinds of stuff, and I get there and I say, okay, well, what are you guys going to give me to put me to sleep? And they said propofol, and I'm like, doesn't that sounds familiar? What is that? And the nurse, just out of the blue, said, oh, that's that stuff that killed Michael Jackson. And I went, oh, okay. Is there something else that you can give me for that? And I said, yeah, we can hook you up to an IV. And then I'm starting to think, well, I really don't want to take any of these things that put you to sleep and fuck with your heart and might, because I've always felt like when I die, it's going to be on a fucking table somewhere, on a hospital bed with guys standing over me pumping on my chest, and I don't want to go out that way. I don't want to go on fucking goddamn. So I said, you know what, can't we just do this without any painkiller, any anesthetic or anything, and the doctor is like, are you kidding me? No, you're going to move around. I'm working on your spine, dude. I'm jabbing a needle into your spine. I can't have you moving when I jab this thing into one twitch and it's over, right? And it's like, okay, well, I really don't want to take any of that crap that you want to stick into my blood, so what do we do here? And he said, well, hey, if you want to go for it, you can do it without the fucking medication, man. But I think you're nuts, right? And it's like, well, I've had needles before. It can't be that bad, right? And he's just like, oh. So they got me ready. They set me out on the table. He's like, no, don't even worry about it. He didn't want it. No, he don't want it. He's gonna go without it, right? Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want something? All right, don't move. Don't move. And if I tell you don't move, don't fucking move. Right? So the doctor was fucking great. So he's got a couple of nurses holding my shoulders down, right? He's got a hand on my back, right? He's saying, don't move. All right, I'm going in. Here it comes. Don't fucking move. Don't move. Don't move. And you could hear it like gristle. You can hear it popping as he's going in to the spine, the spinal, um, the spinal cord. And I heard it pop, and I didn't move. He kept saying, don't fucking move. And I didn't move. I didn't move. At one time I said, I ain't fucking moving. But I didn't move. And he was as blown away as I was that he injected this fucking cortisone synthetic shit into my neck, a big needle full of shit. This is what I'm going to put in you. And he's just shaking his head. The nurses are just going, oh my God, what is this guy's fucking issue? I don't like, I got a vice. I put marijuana in my blood. I don't like to put a whole bunch of fucking chemicals and prescription pharmaceutical crap into my fucking blood. I just don't. When I get a tooth pulled, they'd give me a bottle of pills, and I'd stick them away in case I needed them for something. A pulled tooth, give me a fucking break. By the time I had been on pain pills for like 18 months with all of this treatment crap, like almost 2 years, I had given up on pain pills, and I finally just switched to medical marijuana. Went and got my card. But by the time I got done with all of their bullshit, my medicine cabinet had like 6 unopened bottles of pain pills, Norcos. I couldn't take the shit anymore. It was destroying my stomach. I couldn't get through the day without passing out because I had to take a handful of pills. I was taking more and more and more pills every day. It was just, it was so frustrating, So I got over the pills. I got over the whole, medical aspect of it. And just started treating myself. I did get a chiropractor. I went to chiropractor for years. I can't remember his name right now. Just a great old guy out here in the desert. Kind of a mentor of mine, really. By the time I had stopped seeing him, we were just on great personal level. We were just on great terms. But yeah, there you go. It's like that sun's creeping up big time. I wonder who's going to wake up first in the house today. I know my daughter doesn't have to get up until 9 or 10. She's got a class at 12. Let's see, my wife, what is she doing today? Well, she might sleep in. We had kind of a long weekend. So maybe she'll take the chance to sleep in. If we're not out doing vacation rentals, she's not out helping me. She's helping a friend somewhere or helping somebody do something. She's just a beautiful person. Gives of herself all the time, constantly. I missed having her with me last night at the open mic night. Yeah, she's so much fun to hang out with and talk with. Always so happy and vibrant. And very, very funny. Very, very funny. I always think I'm the funniest one in the house until she opens her mouth. And then my daughter says something and it's just, geez. Everybody else is funnier. Yeah. Too much. So let's see. I've had my coffee this morning. My coffee. You know what? I'm gonna probably have to go back to sleep for a couple of hours at some point because I've got to deal with my daughter getting her to school, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to be going there and coming back and then going back to pick her up. It's only an hour and a half. So I have to decide, do I just want to go throw my guitar in the van and sit in the back of the van and play guitar for an hour, or lay down for an hour in the back of the van and just save the gas? Because I could sit out there and watch something on my phone, watch something in the van on the TV, play guitar, write, read. I could take my the book that I'm reading right now and read a little bit of that and then pass out. I don't know. I guess if I have a nap before then, I may not need a nap then, right? Oh, what am I asking you for? What am I asking you for? So how is it that I can just sit out here and talk to myself? Because I've been doing it my whole life. At least now there's the potential, the possibility, the opportunity for someone else to be listening. So there you go. It's not likely that anybody is going to watch this and watch the whole thing. So there are parts here which will probably never be seen, Yeah, and that makes for interesting television, because what I could do is I could hold a quiz and say, okay, what episode did I wear what t-shirt? Or what episode did I reference this? Or what episode did I do this, right? And then, give away prizes, I'm kind of enjoying that word promosm now, promo SM, promo, because you're promoting yourself, I guess, because that's essentially what I'm doing. I don't like somebody to just leave a comment that said promosm, because, If you're not going to watch, if you're not going to hang out, then who gives a shit what your little stupid little comment is? If it's just antagonistic, then go away. Now, that doesn't take away from the fact that, yeah, this is probably a pro-Muslim. But I'm not just promoting me, I'm promoting local talent as well on my Friday night show. But yeah, I will be promoting local businesses, local restaurants, establishments, local people, local artists, local venues, local street vendors, street food's big out here. Basically, I'm just promoting everything about my life that I like and sharing it with y'all. And that's just one small aspect of my show here in the morning, you know. So, come hang out. I'll be introducing more cameras at some point, but it's not tops on my list. I'd like to have a camera over my shoulder that looks down into my lap so that when I switch to it, you can see what I'm looking at if I've got a book in my lap, right? I'd like another camera angle that's close up so you can see me a little closer and see more of the room from a different angle. And I'd like to be able to pipe in to the audio video feed, pipe in some video from like a VCR or something, so that we can watch something together, and that would be neat, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be totally cool? Totally cool, man. Yeah. So if anybody's watching and you have any ideas on how to do that digital multi-camera thing, I've kind of researched a couple of things, but I don't want to just jump in and grab the first thing I see. I have a tendency to do that and make a mistake, so I'm going to kind of hold off and see if I can't put together something, a little low tech. But YouTube's a little high tech, so trying to go low tech to high tech, that's a big jump sometimes, and it just doesn't work sometimes. All right, number 3. So it looks like I've gotten a few viewers of my Friday Night Live at 5 pilot episode, which was really, really fun. Unscripted, unplanned, unrehearsed. Basically, it was turn the camera on and a knock at the door, and it's exactly how it turned out. That was the only thing that I'd planned, was to turn the camera on and to have my friend come to the front door so he'd come right into the studio here. And then everything from there was just ad-libbed. We just kind of let it happen organically, which is probably how the next episodes, the actual episodes of Friday Night Live at 5 are going to turn out. It's just going to be myself and possibly a co-host and a knock at the door and a guest and some interview and some entertainment, and then some more interviews, some more entertainment, and then that's it. That's the show. And then it will go on as long as it goes on. Probably just an hour, figuring that being Friday night, we're probably going to have some place to be, or at least somebody will. So it'll probably be kept pretty short on Friday nights. Now, if we can go longer on a Friday night, what I might do is do a live at 5 on location, and go to a garage or a house and set up and do a live remote, and that would be neat. That would be really really neat. Neato. It would be keen, man. It would be the bee's knees. Uh, yeah, that'd be awesome. But as far as doing the live show here, I can probably fit about 4 people in here comfortably. And while it is a mobile home, and it does feel like it's going to fall apart at any time, yeah, I don't want to pack it full of people. So if I get an event where it's like, you know what, I'm going to have guests over here and it's going to exceed my capacity limit, then I will probably go and do a live remote. My house, well, my mobile here, call it a house, is kind of semi under construction at this point. And the further along this show goes, you actually might get to see me do some of my home improvement stuff. But we've been in here a few years, and it is very difficult to find a place to live out here in Joshua Tree. It is really, really rough, the housing market. There's like almost no rentals. There are only a handful of apartments or mobile home parks. And like everything else, if it's not somebody who's been out here living in that house for decades, it's a vacation rental. There are so many vacation rentals out here. There's just no place for any of the regular residents to live. So while our place isn't the greatest place in the world, we're actually really lucky to have it in the location, because we're like, you know, I can walk 10 minutes down the street and I'm downtown Joshua Tree, which is going to be once I get to go to live from my telephone, then I'll take you all on a Friday or Saturday night at walk through town, and see what's going on, because there's a lot going on. But there's a lot happening out here, and if I can, you know, if I got to go somewhere else to bring stuff to you on Friday night, I'll do that. But yeah, I'll get some more of these tall chairs in here that we had on the live show Friday night, and see if we can't get some more people in here. Now there's there are a couple of how do you phrase it now? I don't know, rap artists, hip hop artists that are out here that I've seen several times. I'm friends with one and acquainted with a couple of others, and I'd really like to get a couple of these guys to come and bring some sound with them and do some freestyle stuff. Because what I've heard, I mean, I could try to bring you some snippets from some of the open mic nights, but from what I've heard, these guys are just really, really on it, you know, and for sure. As were these two. I mean, the Tommy Tom show. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You have to turn them on and check them out. All right. I mean, oh my gosh, right? Yeah. So it looks like we're going on 2 hours. I guess I'll just go on today as long as I feel like going on. I got enough coffee in me to kind of stay motivated for another hour or so, I guess. And that's a lull. Yeah, coffee. Well, Ollie skipped out of here, but I still got the big dog over there laying down under the table, under the camera there. And I guess I'm hers. She was my father's dog. And when I'm home, she doesn't leave my side. She's constantly at my heels. If I get up and go into the next room for a second, she has to get up and look around the corner and to see if she has to follow me. If I go into the bedroom and she can't see me, she's got to follow me and find out where I'm at, and then stay in that room with me until I leave that room and then go to the next room. Sometimes it can be annoying and I have to say, stay there, lay down and stay, don't move. I'll be right back. Otherwise, up she comes, dragging her blanket like a boxer's robe. She's hilarious. I love her to death. Yeah. Big dog. She's a sweetheart. She's the most lovable dog in the world. I've almost got it to where she's going to get in my lap. Almost. Well, I keep seeing notifications that people are reacting to my my links on Facebook. I posted a lot of links to my shows and stuff on Facebook. So I'm hoping that brings in some more viewers and please, hopefully subscribers, so I can do more on this platform here. Yeah, I mean, I will hopefully be going to, like I said, this is a slow burn. It's snowballing. So hopefully I can go to Instagram soon. I think that's probably my next step, is to go to Instagram. But I'm going to have to upgrade on telephones, right? So I'll have to be doing that soon. So hopefully, looks like I'm going to be going for tickets today. I want to try to get tickets to see Lucas Nelson and Promise of the Real up in Santa Ana at the Observatory, which is a big concert hall. So wish me luck. I'm going to try to get us a couple of tickets for that, for David and I to go out. The night after I take my daughter to drop her and her friend off to see Fall Out Boy again at the Honda Center. So yay for Natalie. Natalie and Charlie. And then I'm going to try to talk my wife into going out with me that night and go do something, go see a movie or go to downtown Disney and have dinner, or, walk the streets or something, do something, get out. Vamos a bailar. I keep hearing noises, so I have to wonder if it's those dogs milling about or one of the girls. If it's a dog, I got to get up and be the doorman again. I don't think so. So yeah, that's coming up. In about a month, we're going to see Mitch Rowland at Pappy and Harriet's. He's the guitar player for Harry Styles. Harry Styles I've seen twice. My daughter's seen 3 times. And I'm always just so taken in by his band. The guitar player, the drummer, the acoustic guitar player, keyboard player. I mean, they're such great musicians. And so to get the opportunity to go see Mitch do a solo is just phenomenal. He released an album. I don't know what it's called. My daughter has it. We'll have to pull it out here someday. But it's a great, just a great sound. It's got like that throwback. It's got a lot of elements from the 70s and 80s, which I really like about that. His music and Harry Styles' style of music. It's like a lot of guitar ballad stuff. I really dig that. I really, really dig that. So yeah, and other than that, we've got such a huge line. Let me see what my list says. It's just a giant lineup of shows coming up this year again. My daughter is rewarding herself for all of her years of schooling. Let's see, her and Charlie are going to see I Don't Know How, But They Found Me in April. In June, there's going to see Los Campesinos. And in August, right before my birthday, she's taking me to see Killers in Las Vegas at Caesars. And that's so awesome. Killers is one of my favorite newfound older groups that I had maybe heard a couple of things, but wasn't listening to the radio at the time. I don't know if I've talked about that, probably in previous episodes or somewhere, but I just got out of music for a while. I just had to walk away because it's just not, you couldn't find anything. And then she's going to, in October, they're going to When We Were Young Festival, and that's Natalie and Charlie and me back in Vegas, because there are shows or a couple of acts at the end of the show that I want to see. I'm probably not going to be in there for the full. I'll leave that to the kids, but I'll definitely come in the evening for the last handful of acts, the headliners, totally. And then in November we're going to see Los Tigres del Norte. Awesome. One of my wife's favorite groups. So the three of us are going to do that. Isn't that awesome? And my daughter can't stop. So, of course, there'll probably be others on the horizon here. She's kind of become a concert junkie, which is fine by me, because if you're going to do anything with your money, invest it in music, and because that's something that pays dividends in your soul, right? So seeing live music especially inspires you. It's inspired me. I mean, I'm here now because of all these concerts that she's taken me to. It has inspired me to pick up my guitar and play. It's inspired me to pick up the pen and write. Inspired me to learn songs I never thought I'd learn before. And she's inspired me to learn things about myself that I never knew that I could do, right? It's just wow. So, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for my daughter and her influence. I don't know that she could say that about me, because she has way influenced me more than I think that I could ever influence her. And I'm her parent, I'm her dad, right? And and I would hope that she isn't too much influenced by the things that dad does, because let's face it, I'm not the most perfect guy in the world. Oh yeah, 7:00. Hello world, it's 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here in America. This is January 29th, 2024. And this is Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy in the morning. All right. Just want a little station identification there for you, in case you forgot where the hell you were. And if you did forget where the hell you were, it's planet Earth, man. Wake up. Sheesh. You need to know any more than that other than it's planet Earth? for sure. All right, it looks like we're going to go in for number 4 here, because we can. And about talking about all of that pain earlier, just remembered me how much I hurt in the mornings. Now, come the middle of the day, it's not so much that I'll be like so stoned, you know, be that I've disconnected myself enough from the pain that I can function. And then I might have a hit every hour or two to continue functioning. But what does it matter? Why am I telling you? What do you care? I enjoy it. I enjoy being pain-free and happy, and social, and kind, generous. And I don't get there, when all I feel is pain. Look at that light coming in. Is that awesome? You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to bring in some smoke for this light because, I love it when the smoke is going through the sunlight. Yeah. So let's see. If I do this and that, where's that smoke going to go? There. Let's see what that does. That just might do it. Just might do it. All right, let's try it over here. If we put a little bit closer, under the light, we'll get it to come up through the light. Atmosphere, man, atmosphere. There we go. Take that, light. Look at that shaft of light pouring in that window. Is that friggin' awesome or what? Oh, I see, it moved. It moved. It's not there. It is over here. So if I put it over here, it should be right in the light soon. Come on, don't screw with me. Far out. Look at that smoke all over my face. Hello. There it goes into the light. It's going into the light. Wow. Far out. Yeah, when I was a child, I used to be fascinated with light and shadow. Like I was telling David Friday night, sound. It wasn't so much music as it was sound and noises. It wasn't the song, it was the way the voice sang it. It wasn't the music so much as it was the sounds of the individual instruments and individual elements of the music. Noises from movies and sound effects. Foley art, really into sound effects from old time radio shows. But yeah, I was also really fascinated with light and shadow and atmosphere. In fact, when I was at college just a few years, a decade ago, here where my daughter is attending now, I took some art classes, and one of my main focuses during my drawing and figure drawing and stuff like that, painting, sketching, everything that I was doing, I would try to work as much with atmosphere, smoke, clouds, haze. When you drive um, northwest of here. Um, well, more north. You drive toward Big Bear, and the the hills, the range of mountains and stuff, progressively working backward to Big Bear. The shades of grays and blues that each individual mountain produces as it goes back and further, eventually getting to where you can't even, some of it's just washed out so far away that it's just, it looks like the sky almost. It's just amazing. And so I really tried to grab onto as much of that as I could in art class. Um, and atmosphere. It's just such an awesome thing to work with. God, I love it so much. The light, especially smoke in the light as it swirls around. When I smoked cigarettes, I used to blow the smoke into the sunlight, the shaft of light coming into a room. And I mean, look at that. Look at that. It looks like I'm sitting here with a ghost as it comes into the light. Look at that. It's like watching clouds and seeing the different, the different imaginings in the clouds. That's awesome. And I can look at it here and it looks great when I'm just sitting here watching it. But when I look at it on the screen, I think you're getting a better picture of what it's doing here. That's freaking awesome. It's smoke. It's alive. It is a living thing. Yeah, look at that. I could just watch that forever. Wow. So what do you guys do when you're just sitting kind of vegging out like I was just doing, right? I mean, this is one of those things that will just kind of put me in a trance. What are the things out there that you do that kind of captivate you, and make you feel like, wow, I could watch this forever? Like the sunset. If the sunset will get to that certain spot and then just kind of stay that hue, that color, right? And you could just watch it forever. Or, it gets to a spot and then you can hold your breath and it just lasts forever. Um, or watching your kids play, or watching your favorite group on stage. Does it hypnotize you? What is it for you? Something natural, something organic. What is it that flips your trigger? Um, like I said, for me, it was always light, sound. Um, I've always been kind of a hands-on person, so feeling different things is really cool. Really tactile person. Um, Nature. I could sit in the middle of nowhere, um, just forever, just you know, soaking it in. Yeah. Wow, man, that's deep. That's heavy. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. We was going in for another one here, and I think we're gonna do that. And then, oh, I don't know what I got on the schedule today. We got to get Natalie to school. We got to get ready for tonight. I got to get my office cleaned up here because it's a little bit out of control here. And of course, it's an office, a den, a studio, living room, guest room. It's pretty much all of the above, and it's under construction. I've got in the direction that I'm looking in, I've got a whole room this size that I have to reconstruct. I have to demolish and reconstruct. I have flooring that I need to stabilize because it's an old mobile home. The floor is kind of bowed down and wobbly. So I need to get under there and shore up everything. And that's going to take a little bit. I've got to shore up the ceiling because somebody who owned this before ripped out a lot of the walls and stuff that were in here. And while they made it larger, they took out one of the bathrooms and a little of the support for the ceiling. So I need to kind of help stabilize this place as well as give it kind of a different feel because it's too broken up the way it is now. So, and I've got to get into the walls, redo the electrical, redo the plumbing, and do some drywall. I did acoustic ceiling in here because I wanted the sound to have a good quality, a good feel. And so I did acoustic ceiling in here. I'm probably on that half of the mobile. I'm probably going to do, because that half is going to be kitchen. I'll probably do most of it smooth drywall, and do a nice good semi-gloss, for the moisture and heat and stuff. And then the other half the other part that's closer to this room, I'll put a little, over the hallway, I'll put some more of this acoustic. I like this acoustic. I'm probably going to do my bedroom with this cottage cheese acoustic ceiling stuff. I've got smooth trowel ceiling in my daughter's room and skip trowel on the wall, because it had already been drywalled in there. So I went ahead and smoothed her walls and then painted everything up for her before she moved in into when we got the house. Just did a little painting and fixing up, sprucing up, and then we've just kind of been going about life since then. But now that I built put a building outside, a 10 by 12 building outside for our washer and dryer, because it had no room in here for a washer and dryer, and the mobile home park washer and dryer was always getting vandalized. So and my wife was using it like on a nightly basis. We'd come home and she'd be off to wash laundry. And so it was like, all right, enough's enough. We got to get our own machine here. So I had to actually build a room. So I built the biggest shed that I could find and built it 18 inches up, built a pony wall all the way around and built it 18 inches up so that it's got a higher ceiling. And then I put a framed a wall for the front rather than the little metal doors. I framed a wall for the front, put an actual door, an actual household door, kitchen door with a window, and plumbed it and gave it electricity and gas, and drained it, and put an air conditioner in there, and put up a lot of shelves for all of my junk. So, and I put up a nice fence around the yard because it's a mobile home park and we've got 4 dogs. So I put not just a fence, but a metal corrugated metal wall, basically, around the whole house, around the whole backyard, so that, people can't even see our dogs, right? So our dogs are well protected. Nothing can get in. And if it does, Tootsie will kill it. The first 3 weeks she was here, she killed 3 squirrels who tried to come in and eat the bird food. So we stopped feeding the birds back there. But we've done enough to the house and the property. Otherwise, now it's time to invest in, the parts of the mobile home that are in dire need of repair. So the floor needs a little support. Once I get everything supported and I get the place done, then I can have it leveled a little bit. It's probably a little out of whack at some point, but it's the floor that's got a bow in it, and I need to get that worked out. I need to redo the kitchen walls and hang some cabinets because we've got which means I have to reinforce the walls so that they'll hold the weight of the upper cabinets. And I don't need a lot, but I do need a few cabinets up on the walls. Most of the stuff's going to be down below. And then I've got to get I'm going to start by moving my sink, put a sink over here and plumb it in after I do all of the stuff. I'm going to finish this side of the kitchen and put the refrigerator and a new sink and some cabinets and cupboards and stuff. And then I can remove the kitchen that we're using now and then install an oven, stove, and more cabinets and kitchenry over here. And then where the old sink was, I'll just install, I don't know, maybe an underneath freezer, a chest freezer that slides out, perhaps, or something else that we're going to need in this house. We'll probably get a different refrigerator. Or what I'll do is bring our refrigerator over here and then get another like upright freezer or small refrigerator on another half of the kitchen. Maybe get a beverage cooler refrigerator and then a chest freezer. So we've got a little extra space. I could put something out in the storage and the laundry room, but that's a little bit far to go for food and stuff. I would rather just add a couple of little things in here and stashed away somewhere. Because once I get done with the kitchen, I got to move in and then redo our bathroom. And because they took out one bathroom, I'd like to at least put in another toilet. So I'm going to put in a little stall with pocket doors with just a little toilet and sink, and then have it open up through into the bedroom, and then have our bedroom have a door, or have a door on this side of the bathroom. Haven't quite worked it out yet. I know that I want to extend our bedroom a foot and a half, because we've got a big king size bed in there. It'd be nice to have a little bit more elbow room around the sides of the bed. We spent the first 18 years of our marriage in like a queen size bed. And then we decided, what, we need to get bigger, and eventually we got a king size bed, because we were, now we're sleeping with a couple of dogs. And we're just like, yeah, let's do that. Let's get a bigger bed. Unfortunately, our room is a little small. But I'll take it. To have the size of that bed to sleep on, it's worth it. It's worth losing the space. But, given the opportunity, I'm going to try to extend our room size a little bit, reconfigure things a little bit. My cabinetry here, I've got to build a wall around it, so it'll probably have to come out at some point, and then get a wall built and get the floor supported more, and then reinstall this cabinet. But I like this cabinet. The only other place that I would put this cabinet would be in a vacation rental. If I was going to retrofy the vacation rental, then I might part with it that way. But it's really become a part of my set. That TV, my books, the bar. I don't think that I could really part with this cabinet. It's just a great display for my history, my past, my vintage. God, that smoke is awesome. Well, if anybody watches this video and gets this far, Hope you're enjoying that smoke, because that's cool stuff right there. That's just great stuff right there. So yeah, I've got to install a bunch of supports underneath to support the floor. I've got to put a couple of things up high to support the ceiling, because I'm going to remove another wall in here. I need to put in a couple of walls, and if not wall, I need to run some supports across the ceiling to keep it from sagging, because that's a big thing that happens in aged mobile homes, is they start to sag in areas. Because this one, was built back in the 60s, I believe, and brought out here new, and it wasn't constructed all that great. The floor underneath, it's literally 2x4s laying on their ends, on their sides, and they're not even full 2x4s. They're 2x4s tacked together. I mean, so the floor literally can do whatever it wants, and then they're all running this way, so there's nothing to keep them plumb going this way, level, except for a couple of flimsy steel beams every 4, 5, 6 feet, and that's just like, no way. So my idea is to get some, 2x6s, 2x8s or something, turn them on their end, run them down, double them up, support them, and then put some flooring plywood over the top of that, and then bracket them up on one side, and then raise it up into the other side, and just kind of take the bow out of the floor all the way across, and then just keep build a section and install it, build another section, install it, and just go down both sides of the trailer, and then stabilizing the jacks as I go. I can't lift with a jack to push it up, because it would push up on the mobile itself and could cause it to go wonky. So I have to figure out a fulcrum lever deal that is going to hinge on the mobile, and then get up under the beam support that I need. And then what I'll do is I'll just fulcrum it up into the mobile, and then lock it into place with some bolts. And I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do that, without making the mobile go wonky while I'm putting that much pressure on it. So if I just get a large beam and jam it underneath what I need to bring up, and then hinge it to the mobile itself, so it's hanging on the mobile, then all I have to do is just put some weight down on the long end and push that flooring support up in there, and then just knock some bolts into it, and it's good to go. And I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to support the floors. And I may get under there and put some supports under there, some stacks of lumber or what have you, before I do any heavy work. But I guess I'll figure it out when I get there. I haven't got there yet. It's going to be a little while, but I will definitely be constructing, probably working on my ceiling here in this living room, and working on these walls, because I can open that up, hang 3/8 plywood on the wall after I've added a couple of 2x4 supports, and then done my new electricity, do my 3/8 plywood, and then I've got something strong for the cabinets to hang on, because they're not going to be able to hang on what's here now. So my whole kitchen has to have 3/8 plywood on the walls to give it this, and a couple of 2x4s added in a few spots in between window corners and stuff, to give it some more strength. And then I've got to run new cables all the way through to my breaker box, so I can redo the wiring on that side. And I had thought about doing it from the outside, and then just running conduit in to each new outlet. But I have to go into the walls anyway, and add the 3/8 plywood. So I figure, what the hell, I'll just do new everything. And rather than 2 retro boxes, I'll just do real outlet boxes, and then wire it down all the way down. And then I may come out at some point and go into conduit, or go down and go to conduit. because it's a mobile home, so there's a lot underneath where I can run. There's a lot of electricity and stuff running underneath, as well as in the walls. Nothing can go above because there's no room. I mean, to get that light, it took some shoehorning to get these light things up in the kitchen. Of course, there's no light in this room here on the ceiling, and that's one of the things I'm going to add. And then I'll just do a plastic conduit stuck to the ceiling over to the corner, and I think I'll do it that way, or maybe I'll run it here where I'm going to put my support beam, and then run it down. Yeah, that'd be a shorter distance to travel from the center of the ceiling there. It only has to go about 5 feet. And then I can hide it underneath a channel in the beam. So that'll work there. Yeah, it's an ongoing project. And if I get any Friday night guests, they'll get to see the ongoing progress and the craziness. I think the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this wall here that's sagging my floor and sagging my ceiling, because they removed a center support wall here. My wall over here is sagging everything down. So if I cut this loose from the ceiling and then raise it and support it with the new wall here, then I can just remove it completely and then support my floor, and then support my ceiling, and then add some thin 1/4-inch drywall to the ceiling and give it some life. I think that's going to come first. It's going to have to come first. So yeah, I'll do my ceiling first in here, and then work on the walls. And then once I get all that the whole wall done over there, then I can go down and worry about the floor, because then I'm going to need to support this floor so I can re-floor it, redo all the wood. And what I'll probably do is I'll just do half the floor. I'll do that half of the floor and get that done, get that whole half of the house done. And then I'll get into this half, because this half is going to mean this cabinet and removing everything from this room to do the floor. And that, I don't want to do that. That's going to take away from video time. So that's going to be in a long time. Maybe after this has evolved into something else. But I got plenty of time to do everything that I'm looking at when I look toward y'all. There's a lot of room there that I can work on. And there's not much there now, table, chairs, my monitor, my camera. So, yeah, that'll be my first go here at redoing my interior. Oh, look, there's number 4. I still haven't got. I'm not going to go for another half a cup. I have to take my daughter to college, so I'm going to try to take a nap before then, so I've got the energy to be alive for that, in case she needs me for anything other than being a chauffeur. And then, yeah, like I said, I might hang out over there and do the college thing, and fiddle my guitar, and maybe I'll shoot some video or something. You never know. You never know, man. But then, crap, then I'm going out tonight, so I may want to lay down again for a little while, So I've got the energy to do something, And, yeah, I don't know when Friday Night Live is going to start its weekly episodes at Friday night at 5. I imagine it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks down the road. The pilot was really fun. I think we need better sound, and David's going to help me work on that, so we can have, like 4 mics and 4 instruments. I want to be able to do a full, live presentation of whoever I might be able to get over here. So, so far it's been no more than 2 people in an act that I've I'm thinking, wow, I really want to get these people over here, and find out more about them, find out more about their music, because it's a real turn on for me, you know, um, to not just to hear the music, but to find out about the music and about the people, you know. I mean, I grew up in hippie counterculture world where everybody was always really communal and always into everybody else's thing and knew it was like, yeah, man, he's cool, he's got this thing going on, um, but yeah, don't I sound really weird? Or like last night at this open mic night, this guy got through singing this song about an unemployed android, right? And uh, I was just I was so taken back to Dr. Demento that at the end, when everybody stopped applauding, I literally had to yell out, "Man, I thought it was Dr. Demento's show." And he got it, right? And of course, the host, the MC, she got it too, because she got on the mic and she said, fish heads, roly poly fish heads." And so I screamed Barnes and Barnes, and everybody cheered. And I shouted, "Oh, I just aged myself, you know." But I did, and everybody else aged themselves, and it was great. And it was a Dr. Demento moment, open mic night. I'm serious. This guy's song about an unemployed android was ripe for Dr. Demento. And I know he's still there. And had I the gumption at the time, I would have talked to him and explained to him that Dr. Demento is still alive and broadcasting on his website. And this music, this song needs to make it Dr. Demento. Just wow. Wow. The guy was just wow. Um, I want to say Perry Goodman, Perry Perry Doberman, Perry Doberman, I think. Don't shoot the memory. But yeah, this guy was just oh, he did another song, but this is the one that I cannot ever put out of my head. Wow. Yeah, I gotta find that. I gotta find that guy again. I'm hoping that by the time I get my cards, I will be able to find this guy, give my card, and say, "Hey, please, 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 let me talk to you about this. This is yeah. Let's let the world know about this unemployed android." Wow. And what was another one? Um, Off-world space colonies was another one that he did. And this is an older gentleman, older than me, from New York. He did a set with a woman um, who did some stuff that's totally counterculture. You can totally tell that they did the same stuff way back in Greenwich Village back in the day, right? And they were on it. They were old school on it. You know, it was like, yeah, no worries. Um, I mean, she literally finished her set and just got up and walked off stage like it was nothing, you know, and it was just awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, what a weekend! What a freaking weekend! And it ain't over yet. I'm still going out tonight, and I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Who I'm going to find? I hope I find. I hope I find Milo out there. Mad Flows Milo. Um, I hope I find Mike Craftsman out there this evening. Um, I so enjoy both their work. They're just, I was never a fan of, well, I was. Early on, I was into hip hop and rap and mixtapes and dance music and that kind of stuff in the, up into the mid to late 80s. And then everything kind of changed more about music videos and thug life and violence. And then the music got really, really weird on the radio, and everything was grunge, and everything was progressive and weird and different. I didn't find anything. I couldn't find myself in any of it. So I walked away for 25 years, 25 years. I mean, I was like, ah. And so it wasn't until recently, in the last, 5 or 6 years, that my daughter has just been pulling me into music again. And I've really started to find a lot of stuff that I enjoy listening to that's got a lot of hip hop elements, a lot of rap and that kind of stuff. And my lingo is so old school that, yeah, I'm going to, what the hell is this old guy talking about? We don't call it that anymore. Jeez, hippie. It's a me. It's a me, Mario. Yeah. But anyways, I thought I had my lighter here, man. Is it in my lap? Set it down. Oh my God, no way. Oh wait, no, I'll probably set it up there. Oh wait, oh no, wait, oh wait, 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 oh, there it is. So yeah, coffee's gone. This is the last Bong Hit here. So, getting to know you, getting to know me. You're finding out more about me than I am about you, people. So fair is fair. So chime in. If you're going to stop by and hang out for a couple of minutes or a whole show, please leave a comment just to let me know that you were there. Or give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or something. I don't care. It doesn't bug me. You either like it or you don't. But let me know that you were there, and let me know where you're at. I'd really like to know where you're at. Are you here in California? You in Indiana, Ontario, Sydney, Beijing? Where are you? I want to know. Are you in Dubai? I would really love to get some back and forth with people from all over, not just with people I know, not just with people in my area or people in Southern California, but everywhere, because that's the whole point of this, is I'm not here to sell you anything. I don't want to sell you on anything or any ideas or ideals or a way of life or anything. I'm just here to share my life experiences, my likes, my dislikes, where I shop. I shop for a lot of t-shirts. I'll tell you that. I'm a t-shirt guy. I like t-shirts. I wasn't a t-shirt guy 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I had black t-shirts. That was it. I had a black t-shirt collection. And then, a collection of shirts that, the shirts that your wife buys you because she thinks they're going to look good on you. I've got a lot of those shirts. I don't wear those anymore because I don't feel like I try not to wear collared shirts. Collars are the yoke of the oppressor, so I try to avoid collared shirts. I'm not a blue collar man. I'm a no collar man. But I just kind of want to share things with you about my life that may or may not be interesting. I'm sure that when I'm dead and buried, gone from this plane of existence, pardon me, that at least a few people will enjoy going back and looking at these things and maybe finding out things that they never knew about me, right? Because isn't that, what? It was Tom last night that gave me a quote. And I told him about my show, and that my morning show is just kind of me kind of getting it all out. Just, here, this is me, this is my life, this is what I got inside me, and he turned to me and he said, looked right in my eyes and he said, die empty. And it was like an epiphany, right? And thank you to that, because that means so much to me, and it expresses so much about what this is. Die empty. Don't leave anything unexposed before you go. Tell all your stories. If you got songs inside of you, let them out. If you've got poetry, if you've got art, whatever you've got inside of you, this is your life. Let it out while you can. Do it. Do it. Just do it. Do it now. And that's what I hope this all continues to lead to, is more of just do it. Just get it out. Right? Friday morning, I got up and I thought, you know what? I got to get in contact with David and see if he wants to get together and, hang out and do something. And I wrote this text and I, make this really, great explanation of, why I should, why we should go out and do something. And, let's, and I was like, I looked at the time and it was 7:45 a.m. And I was like, oh man, it's too early. If he's not working, then he's going to be asleep, because who wants to get up early on his day off, right? So, and then I was like, I'm just going to feel needy. And it's like, this old guy won't let me alone. So I just erased the text, right? It was like, and just threw my phone down. I said, maybe some other time, which is, part of my depression and my anxiety and stress and, seclusionism, agoraphobia, all of that shit just kicking in. And it was literally like 15 or 20 minutes later that I get a message from David, saying, hey, I'm going out to open mic night. Can I, should I stop by your live show? And it was like, I just texted him like, dude, I've been into my morning thing and I haven't really planned anything for the live show, and, blah, 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 excuses, poor me. And maybe if you want to stop by, we can shoot a video or something, and he's like, what a bummer. Well, I'm going to go do the open mic night. And then I was like, you know what? It took me like before I even read his message, I was thinking, you know what? I sent him a message, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do them both, right? Let's just do them both. And this is like early in the morning. And he's like, right on, cool. So, and then we'll go to open mic, just what the fuck? And I'm not really, I used to be like that, but I'm not really like that anymore. Just spontaneous. And I thought, you know what? This show was supposed to be a really, really slow burn. And life's too short for a slow burn. And while technically it's going to be kind of a slow burn, life shouldn't be a slow burn. And so I thought, you know what, fuck it, let's just do it. Let's just do them both. And so I told him, okay, be over here at 5, come to my front door, knock on the door, and I'll, be here a little after 5. And I'll get things going. And so I puttered around, cleaned up my room, got everything organized, and switched the set around, refurnished it for a Friday night live interview show. Checked my sound, set my sound up, because my ability, technical abilities are nil. So I had to set up my analog sound mixer and figure out how to get 2 mics and a guitar plugged in at the same time, and then headphones, so you could actually hear yourself play and know how you sound. And it took me forever to get this place cleaned up and get the sound check ready, and then get the you know, just get it to where it felt good. And then I was like, okay. And then I went and I just jumped into bed and I took a nap for like 2 hours. Well, I tried. I mean, I got some good rest. And then got up, had a shower, ate a cheeseburger and a kind of Coke, and flipped my camera on. And before I could even do my opening, David knocked at the door, you know, and it was like Friday just spawned this whole series of events that catapulted me into this weekend that hasn't ended yet, you know. And we'll have a lot more to talk about tomorrow. Let's see. I still want to talk Willie Nelson, right? So let's talk Willie Nelson on Thursday. Anybody want to listen to Willie Nelson, watch some Willie Nelson on YouTube, watch a Willie Nelson movie? There's a lot of Willie Nelson movies on Roku. Okay, so get on Roku, go to Westerns, and or type in Willie Nelson. All right, or go to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and type in Willie Nelson and look at his catalog of movies. He has done so many movies and TV and music videos and appearances. It's you know, it's just amazing. It's just unfathomable. It's unfathomable. So yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about Willie Nelson. I actually had the chance to watch The Red-Headed Stranger, I think Saturday morning. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it was just, I hope we didn't talk about this already. Yeah, I don't think we talked about it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched it Friday or Saturday morning, so I don't think we've had a chance to talk about it. I didn't get a chance to watch any Willie Nelson movies prior to last Thursday's show, so there's that. Last Wednesday's show, there was a small segment of the Laurel and Hardy LP that we listened to that had to be removed or muted due to copyright infringement. So if you're watching the video and you get a little mute, that's going to happen from time to time, because not everything that I pick out is going to be allowed, is going to be like public domain type stuff. And I do apologize for that. I will try to pick out something for Wednesday's show that will be a little more obscure and will hopefully fly through the algorithm without difficulty, right? So yeah, so there's that. Like I said, I don't know when the next Friday Night Live show is coming, but I will be putting together a pilot episode of Sunday morning. Okay. And I'm not sure what it's going to be called, Sunday Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy or what have you, but it will be more of a video, a taped segment show. It will air live, but it will be all pre-recorded and edited. And that should be interesting. Since I've had David over and we've talked, we've come up with some great ideas. We can do segments on a variety of different things. And we've already come up with some great ideas. A couple of things we talked about even on the show Friday. We've come up with some ideas for music videos for some of his music. I'm trying to keep my stuff pretty much basic, because my whole thing is just to try to get whatever song I'm working on, get it to where I feel comfortable with it, and then sharing it and then saving it, so that my daughter then has a chance to see it down the road. Of course, she enjoys them now. And I hope you guys enjoy, hanging out and playing along with everything. For me, I thought it was going to be a challenge, but it's been more of a catharsis, more of a therapy to hang out and, every once in a while share a story from my past or share a story with my present. I pretty much live in the past in my present. That's why I refer to myself as Reverse Van Winkle, because I kind of went to sleep now and woke up 40 years in the past. That's me. Reverse Van Winkle, crazy old weird bearded guy. This has been Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy, mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. And I've had a lot of fun doing this show. This is my 25th show. And I don't see it ending for any reason right away. It may evolve, but I don't see it really coming to a head right away. I'm still doing 4 mornings a week, Monday through Thursday, live at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're watching this on a rerun, please stop by and say hi, and just literally say hi in a comment and let me know who you are and where you're from. And, and that'll be my pleasure, to be able to see somebody from somewhere else stopping in just to say hi, and then if you guys want to share your world, your stories, yourselves, your lives, that's awesome too. At some point, I'm sure YouTube will allow us to do a back and forth video chat during a live thing, which that would be neat, challenging as it may be. It would be really neat to see that, where I could have somebody pop up on my screen in their home and talk to me on my show. So if you're listening YouTube, let's see that. Is that out there? Is that happening? Is that available? Can I video chat with my brother right now on my live show and have you, the viewers, see the both of us? Can I do that? All right. I want to be able to do that. Because to me, that's the next level, is having a show where I've got a special video guest in the morning and then a special live guest Friday evenings, and then my videotaped segment show on Sunday mornings for an hour, so that I can share with you, more than just this. We can look at more of my past in detail. And if you get a chance to go watch episode 1 of Elsinore Brothers Presents, and it's basically a documentary series about Elsinore. And the pilot episode, episode 1, is about me. It's about my life and getting to Elsinore, and some of my experiences in Elsinore. But it's pretty much just a little peek, so that I can delve into more of my life episode by episode. And so what I might do is cobble together some new videos and some old, like my pilot episode, and cobble together a bunch of videos, create some stuff, and put together a pilot episode of mornings, Sunday mornings, because that would be, an easy way to kind of show you what my, idea is for the Sunday show. So that's going to be coming soon. I may do a pilot for the Sunday show before I continue the Friday show, or we might get more of the Friday show before. I'm thinking I am probably going to try to line up a couple of guests for specific dates before I decide to do my live thing. I don't want to take away from anybody else who might be going out to do a project that's going to be a paying project. But if I can get someone to stop by, hang out for 15 minutes to an hour, share some of their art, their creativity, their music, or whatever, and then share something about themselves, and then go about their evening to wherever they've got to go to. I think that would, that would be more than I could ask for. But there's so much out here that I just thought that I'm going to have to start sharing with everyone else. Because I feel like, are you kidding me? We're the only people that get to see this, right? I've felt that way about so many acts I've seen at a lot of these open mic nights and these outdoor, block party type events that I've been out here. So yeah, there's a lot to share with you all about out here. So yeah, once again, this has been me, Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy, Monday through Thursday, 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time until usually 8, until I decide to call it quits. Yeah, this is awesome. I don't know what is going on tomorrow. I don't know if I'm driving tonight, so I may or may not be a little hungover in the morning. I drove last night down an hour round trip to go to the open mic night, so I had a Coke. I don't like to drink and drive. I don't like to do anything mind altering and drive heavy or work heavy machinery. It's just not advisable, right? Most people can't gauge what their body will allow them to ingest and function with, and then it changes depending on how often you do stuff and your body weight and metabolism and so many things. I mean, I'm a functioning marijuana smoker, so I can smoke and then an hour or so later get in the car and drive, and then get somewhere and smoke, and then an hour later drive home. But I can't ever see anyone going somewhere and then just getting all lit up and then getting behind the wheels. I mean, I've seen a lot of damage done. You get a drop that goes past your lips, and you have to take yourself out of the mix for a little while until you're back to coherency. My father taught me only drive as fast as you can think. And if your thinking is impaired, then your driving is impaired, and maybe you should rethink the whole situation. And if you're too drunk or too intoxicated to rethink the whole situation, let's hope that there's a friend around that'll say, "Hey, buddy, maybe you shouldn't be doing that," right? So anyway, be careful, be safe. Take care of your friends and family. Take care of those around you, anybody. And yeah, I'm going to take off for the day. I've got some things to do. So I will see you all on the flip side. I will see you tomorrow. And we will, we'll have some more fun. So have a great day, weirdos. And I'll see you tomorrow morning.